Hello and welcome to Rule the Waves 3, playing as Japan, starting 1890 on Super Large Plus Plus. We are now in January 1896, not 1996, 1896. And we will, as usual, start with our start of year brief, and then we'll play the year as usual, unless something very exciting happens, like a war or something. We'll see. So let's jump in. Yeah, so here we are. We did a very thorough walkthrough of things in the 1895 brief, and not a whole lot has changed, but we'll go through it anyway. So, 1896 analysis. Tensions have gone up quite a bit since the start of 1895. In fact, it even spiked with China for a brief moment. Germany is also slightly up, but more importantly, Russia is up quite a bit. So, could this mean that a war with Russia is in the cards? I think maybe yes, but we won't know for sure for a few more turns. If tensions keep rising or we get some key events, then yeah, surely. We still have our alliance with Great Britain going. I went back and checked. It said a 5-year alliance started in 1890 in September. So according to my calculations, we should have gotten a do you want to continue the alliance event, or a message saying that the alliance had ended, but it is still ongoing. And I went back and I couldn't see any such extension events that I had clicked on. But okay, maybe the war had something to do with this. Maybe the war was, maybe didn't freeze it. Maybe it runs from the end of the war for some time. I don't know. It was kind of surprising. Docks, yes. We got 2 events, 1 plus 500, 1 plus 1000 event. We also finished a build, and we are also building, ready in, yeah. Again, the number is wrong, should be 6 months. Copy paste 2 parentheses, I'll fix that before uploading, but it's not important. The point is that our docks are now approaching a sustainable level. So if only we could have some better guns. Unrest went down to 0 for a little bit, then went up to 1. Budget, the most important development perhaps of the year. Base resources continue to grow considerably. We had some events, and we also have some base growth. But the point is that it is now all the way up to almost 10,500. So I wouldn't say in an exponential increase, but it is quite significant. Budget recovered slightly, went from 12 to 14, and that netted us an increase of about 40,000. So the economy, the growth is very strong, and we have a good build to upkeep ratio, even though we are spying a lot for good guns. So this is about 3,000. This is the new academy. This is basic maintenance, so that's 3,000 and change. So let's say 5,000, and let's round this to 10. That's twice. I'm building twice as much as my upkeep, and that I think is a good ratio. Funds are slightly up. Man, I'm coughing again. Never goes away. We're probably gonna cough until May, and then my birch allergy will kick in, and then I will cough some more. 5 battleships in service, or 5 battleships and 1 ironclad. So our first batch of 10,000 ton ships arrived. Or was it 12,000? I don't remember. But something in that area. 4 light cruisers building at home. 2 will be out this year, 2 will be out the year after. We're building 2 additional heavy cruisers of the same class as before, because they have more speed and because no real technical improvement. So creating an updated class for building a Home would only mean that I lose quality 1 8-inch guns. Building them in Great Britain didn't really do anything, probably just lose a lot of speed for very little gain. Yeah, Battleship situation is much so improved, but we still need 4 more before I'm happy with sort of a baseline fleet. We are building 2 additional cruisers, we need 2 more. Light cruisers are acceptable, not great, but acceptable, so they are not a priority. And more battleships and more cruisers, that's what we're going for. Research was a much better year than any to date. We finally got water tube boilers. That will help us build smaller engines for destroyers. Absolutely necessary at this stage. Improved cementing. That's an intermediate step between Harvey and Krupp, so we're still beelining for Krupp. Yeah, waiting for Krupp. A telescopic sight. That will reduce that minus 80 or whatever penalty to fire control to 70. Then we got melanite. That's an explosive, high explosive upgrade. We don't do high explosive a lot. And then we got the academy and turned that on, and that's when I noticed that all my ammunition settings had sort of disappeared, so I don't know how that happened. I must have been sort of taking pictures for the presentation and then not saved. Maybe I went back and forth a little bit, so we have been playing with the default settings of ammunition and not really feeling that a lot. I didn't notice that we were firing HE rounds that were bouncing off armor. If you noticed, drop a comment, but yeah. It's like I said initially regarding that ammunition loadout settings, they don't really materially change the game. You have to be pretty deep under the hood before it matters. Intelligence, it fluctuates a little bit, but we have medium, medium, low, and improving. We are up to high on Germany. The hope is to steal techs, specifically engine techs. No, engine techs, gun techs, I mean, yeah. Engines are also fun, but we have current engine tech, so. But we need -1 quality 7 and 8-inch guns. I would really like that now. Thank you. Game, did you hear that? Okay. So, let's jump in. Yeah, we're back at it. Where we left off, basically. So I hope you found the start of year presentation useful. I certainly do find it useful because it helps me structure my thought processes instead of just hammering the turn button and then reacting to things as they happen. For example, I would say that my initial take on the intelligence setting was completely misguided. I did some of the same in my France playthrough. There it took a little while longer for war to break out, but I was very slow in increasing it and I ended up with many of the same problems. Did I ever drop China to low? Oh, it's fine. Submarines? No, that's not a thing. This one is missing a commander, but that can be auto-assigned. These all have commanders. Yes, please. Wang Yangwu. I feel that I've seen this ship before. Oh, that's right. We sunk a whole bunch of them. 19 knots. An okay, very cruisery 6-inch layout here. Built in Germany, if I don't misremember, but speed. It's probably 19 knots. Or could be 20, but definitely not reliable engines because we ran it down easily with light 21 knot cruisers, and we also managed to catch them with our 20 knot cruisers, if I remember correctly. Yeah, well, not important. It's not a great ship. It's not horrible, but it's not great. Improved design calculations, that's good. That will save us some tonnage. Early gyroscope, little progress. Yeah, there has been some progress, or we wouldn't get this event at all. That's a torpedo tech, but yeah. Tension. Great Britain and Germany hate each other. I would be willing to join Great Britain in a war with Germany just to take her colonies. Tension. Yeah, they have conflicting interests, and Spain controls Puerto Rico. US also dislikes anyone controlling Cuba, so there is that. France have invented improved design calculations. Okay, yeah. Fine, good, okay. Save. Months left, 4 and 7. One of our cruisers has run aground on the shore of a minor nation while performing an illicit intelligence How is an intelligence operation illicit? I don't know. It was justifiable, I think. They threatened to impound the ship. Release the ship! Prestige and tension. A lot of tension. Apologize. That's not very Japanese. Let them examine the ship even if it risks exposing sensitive technology. I think that makes it easier for enemies to steal my tech, or maybe just give them a random chance at getting a tech. This is very Japanese. We are high on the victory over the Chinese. So click. -2 quality 12-inch gun. No, it's not something we really need, but okay. Every gun helps. Yeah. So I would say Russia is a likely new enemy. Because now tensions are up at 9, and that's a level where you often will see additional events come that may allow you to diffuse the situation, but more often will sort of force you to push that up even further. But I'm still allied to Great Britain for some reason, so yeah, I'm not complaining. Maybe there is a sort of a counter in the save file I could check out. I find it mildly puzzling. It's not super important, but yeah. Still no active Russian ships in the area. They have one active light cruiser here in Southeast Asia for some reason. Maybe it's going back and forth. They have a battleship, a cruiser, and 2 light cruisers in the Indian Ocean. So definitely some activity going on here. They have a few ships in Northern Europe, 4 cruisers and 10 light cruisers. They have most of the fleet still in the Baltic. Yeah. Yeah. Even if all of this comes around and this, I would not afraid of them at all. Definitely not as long as I'm allied to Britain. How is Britain feeling about the Russians? Feeling okay about them, not okay about Spain and Germany. I'm not gonna mobilize yet because of the distance between Russia and the East here. It would be very different consideration if I was playing France again. So, some divisions have no commander. Who's missing a commander? The cruiser division is missing a above average. Below average. We simply do not know. Do we have any officers that we could promote? Captain, for instance. This one is a gunnery expert. We can promote to Gamma. Promote. It will not cost you anything the first time each turn you promote one with a little hash here. That's nice. But now my light cruiser reserve. But now that one, I don't know why I'm skipping between the main screen and the division screen. It's just habit, I think. Let's find a rear admiral, maybe. Rear Admiral Togo. March. Improve design calculations. Malta! Wow, what the... I've never seen Malta rebel and go away. And why? Why? Yeah, well, okay. Yeah. 2 tension reductions with Russia because of the recent war. The game doesn't want wars to immediately start. Same with China, up and down. Spain drops from 0 to less than 0, maybe. Wow, that's... we're still at yellow, so that's fine. Actually good. So weird. That's so weird. Malta rebelled. Why would they do that? Yeah. The Russians are not happy, so they're actually proactively moving some units in small packets. And they have most of their fleet on active here, but I don't feel the need to start working up yet. More. A light cruiser. Improved design calculation. So weight reduction on hull. That's good. That means improved shipbuilding steel, save on hull. Ship design, save on hull. So we have 2 techs here now. Improved cementing, Harvey and cementing. This one is YST and boilers, small boilers. Still no torpedoes and still no damage control. But we are on low, so maybe not as surprising. We have a light cruiser coming out very soon. France and US have signed an alliance. Okay, so maybe not immediately pick on France then. Oh, those democracies. Fighting Russia would not be so horrible. In terms of combat, we can take them, and we could also invade Sakhalin, and then we could take Kamchatka, which would give us a base in the northern Pacific, which will be good for future conflicts, I would say. Yes, these are more valuable, but Russia is also an okay opponent. And Germany, I would not be opposed to, say, getting a hold of a position in the Indian Ocean, or even in Southwest Africa or Cameroon. Yeah, you can easily spiral out of control here. You have to defend those territories as well. Turn. New docks complete. During trials, it's found that the ship is somewhat overweight. I'm not 100% sure what it does. Maybe it takes away some flotation buffer, or maybe it's just a problem when you rebuild and you get less tonnage. I've never taken a deep dive into this exact message. It's not a good message, of course, but yeah. Still has the same speed, so open design for rebuild. Weight remaining 0. Has to be flotate. Or maybe, no, it was 0, and I've advanced some technologies, hull and whatever. But this should free up a little bit of tonnage, but the overweight thing killed that dream. No, that's fine. We can add to division here. Light cruiser division, add ship to division. Kona class, add. And then we will move 1 Chikuma to the light cruiser division 1 and 1 Dhaka, whatever, Oh, ship. Now, one toner, additional toner will go into this group, and 2 more toners will go into this group. That will... we can wait with that. It needs a commander, but this first needs a commander. Assign new commander. Below average, above average, below. Yeah. We can do about that. I really need to start building something more at home, because this one clears and then we have almost nothing building at home. Give me a few seconds. Yeah. And we end up with a design review for a new battleship of all things. I looked at the heavy cruiser, but again, the same problem. I don't want to start a new class that will be objectively worse, even if it's heavier. And by worse, I mean a cost-benefit ratio here, so let's leave that alone. And I don't need more light cruisers, and I couldn't build one that I wanted, so I ended up pulling up the 1892 Battleship, the one that we have been building in Great Britain. And yes, actually, we need 4 more, so that's perfect. And we can now build them at home at 13,500 ton, thanks to the dock building expansion events. We got 1,500, 1,000. The other stuff stays the same as its predecessor, except it now has a narrow slope deck instead of a flat deck. Mostly because I have the tech and wanted to use it. It will add a little bit of additional protection as well, of course. But it's not a fully enclosed box, because we have narrow deck. No, narrow belt, I mean. So if we had a full normal belt sloped with upper belt, I'm adding 3 inches of upper belt and secondary battery armor as well. I have the tonnage for it, and I cannot really fit any form of firepower that's useful to me. So that's the way it is. Is it useful? Yeah, I think for a lead ship in a division at this point in the game, it can be useful. We took a number of upper belt hits, and we had a number of secondary batteries knocked out. And this ship has, yes, it has some 8-inch guns, but that's not where the firepower comes from. The firepower comes from the 14 6-inch guns and the 5-inch tertiaries, of course, but really the 6-inch guns. So if we can protect them, make them stay in the fight for longer, that is actually valuable. Yeah. Now, moving to the next slide, we can see that everything is the same, except I have to eat my lemon. It's a Q2 turret, same as the light cruiser. We just don't have any good guns. But again, those aren't... this is not where the firepower comes from. Firepower comes from the secondary and tertiary batteries. Yeah, this one, that's irrelevant, I think. No, it's absolutely relevant. It has 18 secondary battery. It's not a full 15,000 ton battleship, so it has 14 and 18, so very relevant. Torpedoes are the same. Cost is slightly higher, 4,000, so 10% higher, but the monthly build cost is lower. But here you can see the massive difference in having efficient shipbuilding industry and having undeveloped shipbuilding industry. It's going to take a long time. But I think all things considered, this is what we're going for. And this is a sort of a detailed overview. We can always look at it in game as well, but everything is identical except the armor layout that is now sloped, and secondary guns and upper belt has received some degree of armoring. So let's jump back in. Unless we forget, we will immediately pull up the Fuji. Here we are, and select local yard. Yes, save and finish. Ship has a narrow belt. All of that is normal, taking 3 months. Okay, yeah. That will give us time to build up some more monies. That's always good. Another light cruiser coming out. No. That's an old light cruiser, so that's fine. AI do it. Tension with Great Britain increases as they feel we are being expansionist. Yeah, that's true. We are being very expansionist. Spain and US annoyed again. We're up to 2, so I'm not sure. I asked on the Discord about the duration of alliances. Maybe someone there will have an answer for us. Akitsushima. Tension increases. We resent them controlling Akalin. But it is also reduced because of the recent war. Germany and Britain up and down. Invented smokeless powder. China is spying on, on the US. So, division. Add. No. Light cruiser division. Add in 7 inches. Make flagship move up. So now these are identical. These two are identical. Tona, Chikuma, Takachiho. Yeah. That's a lot of guns. It's not so defensible, but it's a lot of guns. Can we assign a useful commander average? We can take this guy. He's at least average. 50,000. I forgot to start a new dock build. September. I can do it now. Oh. October. Yeah, it's fine. We're all behind, including Great Britain, except US, Italy, and Spain, of all people. I don't trust this. Tensions this high, I'm almost tempted to push this too high. By almost, I mean that I will do so. Cruiser, assign new commander. Promoted to captain. Below average ability for Usu. Friedrich der Große. Probably a cooler name than ship. Go to the build screen. Yeah, this will be Fuji, of course. We'll start the second ship of the class. Maybe someone will get crop armor in the meantime. Pick. Nagato. Yeah, we are in negative territory here, but no matter. Building 2 Furutakas. We need 2 more, I guess. Let's look at the almanac, see if anyone has done the crafting, improved cementing. No, it's a bit early, I think. Better hull strength calculations, that's nice. All techs are nice, but some are nicer than others. Yeah. Finished working up. Oh, yes, we stole it. Good. I mean, my battleships aren't perfect, but they are certainly better than this one. And better hull strength. Wasn't that unexpected? They said that we were close, and then they say it's unexpected. Okay, quite a few techs thus far. Oh, the year is almost at an end. That was quick. Yeah. So docks will finish expanding in December 97. Will be 14,500. We are now bigger than Germany. On par with Great Britain soon. Spain is 13. China is still 5,000. Base resources is 5,000. Base resources 5,700. 13, 2, 14, 14, 15, 20, and Great Britain is the only one that has a lot from possessions. France, kinda. Some from Russia. The other is not so much. Germany, very little. Germany is 15, 20 base. We are a bit over 10, plus 1,000. Yeah, pretty good. We are not too far from Italy, same. Cool. Start of 1897, analysis, quick one. Peace still. Tensions are mildly fluctuating, but Russia remains high. That is good. We want to crush them. Our alliance with Great Britain is still ongoing. Don't know why. Couldn't find any sign of an event. Maybe it got extended because of the war. I already talked about that. Still an open question. Docks are up to 13,500. Building a new round. Local shipbuilding doing okay. Unrest steady at 1. Great stuff. Budget is up almost 500. I included colony resources for the first time. Budget modifier is slightly up. 15 is not great, but certainly better than 12, so slowly crawling up. Budget is up. Good build to maintenance ratio, about 2:1. Funds have nearly reached the 50,000 level that I wanted to remain around. We are building 2 battleships at home. We are building 2 cruisers in Great Britain of the same 21 knot type. We have 2 light cruisers, the last batch coming out this year. We still need to complete that second batch of battleships, so we need to start 2 more. Still need 2 additional cruisers. Light cruisers will be fine for now. Comparing ourselves to the other guys, that will only lead to sadness. So let's just focus on quality and slowly growing our economy and our fleet. Let's not think too much about what the other guys have. They all have like 15, 20 or even 30 battleships, and I'm talking about maybe reaching 8. So research, it was a whatever year. We researched hull and design, and together that saved us 1% on the hull and 1% on the hull. it adds up. And we also bought smokeless powder, armor-piercing tech from the US, so we actually have 3 tech advances in that area now. That is very good, actually, for this time period. So that will help us cut through the crap. Mostly on par with other nations, still missing. We researched on around a 12-inch -2 gun. Forgot about that. Not gonna use that, of course. It's hopeless. We're waiting for crap armor and better guns. Intelligence, all have stabilized. Still struggling to get low on Great Britain. Recently bumped Russia to high, so still working on that. Not primarily to steal from them, but to keep an eye on them. And that's about it. Not much has changed. So let's jump in. Yeah, and here we are again, ready to rumble. Figured we'd take a small stop in the almanac as well. Quickly look at base resources and from possessions. Haven't really done a deep dive on that. We have only looked at people's budgets in this view. So Germany is 15, 16 and a half. We are 12. 26, 16, 15, 15, 14 almost, 13 and a half, 6 and 5. So we are way ahead of Spain and China and catching up on the second tier nations. So not quite there yet, but we're getting there, and it is pretty. Yeah, some of them have slightly higher budget modifiers than us, but not hugely so. I think it's mostly as it should be. Did we save? I think we did, but we can do it again. Oops. I have 2 active light cruisers. Had a vague fantasy that they were good. Then we can just reserve them. Sure what I was thinking about. It's 5 months, 6 months, 5 and 6 months, 28 months. That's a long time, but yeah. Boom times. There has been a windfall in tax revenues. What is your recommendation on how to spend the money? You can do this, but that will increase budget modifier and prestige and tension. I think it will also, to some extent, increase your base resources. But this one increases only base resources, so preferable. I can't talk today. This one reduces, increases budget, but reduces prestige. But I also think it has some form of impact on unrest. But 1 point is not significant, so we will build the railroads. Captain, below, above. Spain and US. Chinese gun makers can make 9-inch guns. We can also make 9-inch guns. Bad 9-inch guns, that is. So if we go to the almanac, we can see that we increased to 11,052. So that is very nice. Our first event today. Some ships have no commander. Anyone important? No, just a light cruiser. Divisions are fine. So yes. Tension with Russia increases. Yes, please. Rest is not so important. This is 8. 8 is good. Yeah, they have moved oh wow, they have really moved a considerable force to the far east. Oh my god. Hadn't really been paying attention. I figured they were moving some assets, but not this many. Ah. Are you planning to go to war with me, Russia? I think you are. You naughty, naughty person. Well, we would have to mobilize soon. Mobilization cost is not so immense, so let us do that. That will increase upkeep by a little over 2,000. No, we will do this instead. We will activate, and activate. The rest we will wait with. I will certainly bring them out as well, but let's start by working up these guys. And let's consider a fleet exercise if Francesco Caracciolo. Yeah, it's not so different from ours, but they have 7-inch guns out the sides. We don't have useful 7-inch guns, so that's a no-go. That was a nice bump because our base resources are bigger now, so even a slight change in budget modifier will definitely impact our finances. So even with the fleet on active there, yeah, but they have a much bigger fleet than ours. 92 we have in blockade value. We cannot see their exact blockade value before we activate. Pension changes, nothing. The commanding officer of Northeast Asia has retired. Okay, he's an old man. Northeast Asia. Sign commander. Below average. Well connected. No. Let's do it by seniority. Aniguchi and Takahashi. Okay, yeah. Good. You better be brilliant, the both of you. Maya. Yay, Maya. Zuma. Great stuff. That's not a cruiser, that's something. Italians have problems with wireless telegraphy. Okay. Sato has been promoted to admiral. Yeah, that was... Yeah, he retired immediately. Assigned commander. Oh. We knew his skill, didn't we? Is that another Sato? Sato. Huh. I could swear we had a Captain Sato that was pretty good. Okay. And add ship to division Furutaka. No. Yes. Completely wrong. Yes, now we have a lot of money. So by all means, let's order some more Fujis. Now we have 4 Fujis building. Good. It's a little bit one-sided, but why not complete one group when we're at it? This is good. We have 2 Tones and 1 Chikuma and 1 Takachiho. They are the same speed, a little bit different armament, but I think they belong together. I don't think I want to mix them in with my reserves. Yakumo is commissioned into the Navy. Kentucky. 13 and 8. 8 4-inch, that is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Always a top spy. Now we have 2 groups of 3 Furutakas. So moved cement. Those probably the last ships we will build in Great Britain. Pretty horrible. Very thick armor. Won't help it. And cut it to pieces. Tension reduced, increases, reduced. Well, at least it doesn't go down net, so it stays at 8. Clearly the game thinks it's a little bit too early for another war. We are not. We don't agree with that. So 2 cruisers, 4 battleships building. That will complete our 8-8-8 plan. And the rest old stuff is in addition to that. These will of course go on active as soon as they activate. We are 20 more months of deficiency, but hopefully we will have a better economy come next year, maybe. Yes. Good, it's the second one this year. 2 ships have finished working up. Oh. There's been an uprising in a Chinese province. The focus of great power colonial ambitions. That's us. We need to send a force to evacuate our nationals. What size should the force be? A gunboat. A little bit of tension. A cruiser. Prestige and lots of tension. A battleship. Budget, prestige, and probably even more tension than the cruiser. Boat says plus. Say plus, but yeah. Battleship. Because all the monies. The prestige. The tension. US and Spain. Yeah. Yes. We are very close to war with Russia, I would say. And we can now build all our ships and still be in the black. We're not going to start any new builds. I mean, these aren't done in almost 2 years. And almost 2 years for this. So what we can consider is if we should activate the rest of our ships, because being mothballed is it's not ideal. I think we will mobilize. That puts us mildly into the negative, but fair enough. Skubelev, General Skubelev, 14 knots. Rate of fire improvement for double turrets. We need to do a rebuild actually of a ship with a double turret to gain an advantage from this, but we don't have very many double turrets. We have a few cruisers and some battleships with double turrets, but those are not the primary. 19 knots for a light cruiser, that seems very low. France has better 7-inch guns than we do. Yes, absolutely. Arada is above average ability. Nice. Nice. So Rear Admiral Takeda, I mean, you're above average, but a poor admin, you're costing me lots of money, so you go into that reserve thingy. You're above average, so you get to be the boss here. Game can just assign someone. Since I'm here already, that captain looks very promising, I think. Okay, my core units are good or fair. That's a decent start. A little bit disappointed with Russia being clever about it, because now they have time to recover crew quality. I had hoped that they would sail around the world and arrive with crew quality -2, but clearly they are smarter than the real world Russians. Akashi finished working up. Art killer. Oh, just the same that we saw last time. Promoted to captain, promoted to admiral. Delay. December, our docks will be done. Yes. Tension is high between our ally Great Britain and Russia. Is it really? I haven't been paying attention. Great Britain. Oh, 10 with Russia. No, really? That is unfortunate. Oh my god, no, really. We should tell Great Britain that we will support them, whatever comes. They did support us against China and was very helpful with the blockade value and the basing in Southeast Asia. So, yes, absolutely. Did not, however, change our relations, but their relations with the nation they ask about, it deteriorates further, so pretty nice. And we will go into one more turn. That's the beauty of turn-based games. One more turn. 14 ships have finished working up. War has broken out just as we finished working up. One of our minor allies is threatened by a neighbor. What do you recommend? Budget and tension reduction, or prestige and tension? We will back our ally. This is Manchuria, presumably. Battle. Southeast Asia. Britain lost 2 heavy cruisers. Russians lost 2 light cruisers. They are doing better than real life. Commander, below average, promoted to captain. US has invented improved turret. Germany has improved torpedo aiming systems. That's like 2 torpedoes beyond us. We're still at torpedo 0. It's pretty pathetic. And yes, we are at 12, so it would be very strange if Britain doesn't invite us to join the war. This is, and just go to active now. This one needs a commander. My divisions are done. Now we can set this as a fleet. Flag, I suppose this one set can be core to 2nd Battle Division. Gonna put that on trade, but now it's just blank it out. I'm gonna set that to trade protection. That's the best way to just get it out of harm's way. When war breaks out, I cannot do it now. The cruisers, I'll think about it if I want to actually set any roles for the other groups. Mostly the battle generator manages to sort of give them useful roles anyway, and even if I set something, I'm not sure the battle generator will respect that. It will usually respect your divisions of major ships, but even if I set this cruiser division on scout, I could end up with this in scout or light cruiser in scout, so screen support, it doesn't always comply with my wishes. No, but this is basically the end of the episode, and we are very close to war, so this will be very exciting. And that does indeed conclude the episode. So episode 12 ended up including both 96 and 97. You can see I adjusted the content a little bit. I hadn't planned on including 2 years in one episode, but it felt natural to do so. Yeah, sure, I could have broken it up into 2 30-minute episodes, but I think the more I think about it, the more comfortable I am with episodes in the 45-50 minute range, 60 minutes, maybe a few minutes over. Yeah. Anyway, we are very close to a war with Russia alongside our eternal ally Great Britain, so it's gonna be really exciting. So I hope you will join me for the next one as well, and thank you and goodbye.